The baker made 110 pumpkin muffins. They will be packed in boxes with 8 muffins in each box. About how many boxes will there be? You can use multiplication or multiples, to estimate how many boxes there will be. So, a multiple is a number. Here's a little definition. A multiple is a number of the product of a number and its counting number. So, what it means is, the product means what usually? An answer, right? The answer when you do what? When you multiply. So the answer is the answer when you multiply. And it's telling you counting numbers by 1. So what that means, and this sounds really scary and weird, but it's not. So 1 times whatever number we have, 2 times whatever number we have, 3 times whatever number we have, 4 times whatever number we have. Okay? So if we're counting by, what number are we counting by here? 8. So 1 times 8 equals 8. And now we're going to do 2 times 8 equals 16. And so on. Oops, you're not getting that. So on all the way down. So when you look at, I don't like that there. Next time I'll move it. When you look at the chart here, it's starting to show you the multiples of 8. So 1 times 8, 2 times 8, 3 times 8, 4 times 8, 5 times 8 is what? 40. 6 times 8?
48.
It shows you 7 times 8, 8 times 8, 9 times 8?
72.
10 times 8?
80.
11 times 8?
88.
12 times 8?
96.
13 times 8?
104.
All you have to do is add 8 to the 96 that you already have. So 104. So even if you don't know, I'm going to bring this down. Even if you don't know that multiplication in your head, you can add it. If you know 12 times 8 is 96, you can add it. Or you can just multiply it out like this. 13 times 8, right? And then you can find it out. All right. So the question asked, they made 110. Can we stop flipping, please? They made 110 pumpkin muffins, and they packed them in boxes with 8 muffins in each box. About how many boxes will there be? So if you look at my chart here, can you tell about how many boxes there will be? Here's the total number of muffins for 1 box. Here's the total number of muffins for 2 boxes, for 3 boxes. The bottom is the total number of muffins, and the top is the number of boxes. Which one is going to be the closest to accommodate all my 110 pumpkin muffins? How many boxes do you guys think?
14.
Probably about 14. If we're looking at our chart here, we can tell we're going to need, well, if I only did 13, am I going to have enough boxes for all my muffins? No. So I need one more. Is my last box, Jaden? Is my last box going to be full?
No. Yes.
Think about it. Okay, let's go ahead and go through the steps. 13 times 8 equaled 104. What did 14 times 8 equal?
112.
112. I have one person over there paying attention. 110 is between 104 and 112. So 110 divided by 8 is, the answer is going to be between 13 and 14. Our answer is between 13 and 14 boxes. 110 is close to which one of these numbers?
14.
No, be close to 104. Okay, listen to my question. Is it closer to 104 or 112?
112.
Okay, 112. So 110 divided by 8 is about 14 or 13?
13. 14.
14. Because it's closer to this one, it's about 14. Is it exactly 14?
No.
No, it's not exactly 14, but it's about. It's close. So there will be about 14 boxes. Now, I want you to think about this again. If you had the bakery made 110 pumpkin muffins and they were going to send them to our class and they needed boxes, how many boxes would they have to send? Would 13 be good enough?
No.
Why would 13 not be good enough? Who can explain that? Haley.
Because when you multiply 13 times 8, it's 104, and 112 is only 2 less to equal 110, and 112 is 6. Then you multiply 6.
Yeah, you'll have 6 extra muffins with no box, right? So you need a whole nother box to accommodate those muffins, even though it's not a full box. Okay? So we'll be interpreting remainders on another lesson, but that's what interpreting remainders will be about. List the next 8 multiples of 10. So it's given you the first, basically it's skip counting. Do you guys remember skip counting before? It's basically like skip counting. We're skip counting by, in this case, 10. And how many times do they want us to skip count? 8. So 10, 20, what's the next 8? Or 8 more. 30.
40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100.
Do we have 8? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 is right. And someone said 200. That would not be the next one. The next one would be 110. All right. So that is the next next multiples of 10. List the next 7 multiples of 100. So we have 100, 200,
300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900.
Stop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What would be the next one?
1,000.
1,000. Go ahead and, no, we don't say 1,000, we say 1,000. List the next 6 multiples of 4. So now we were doing tens. Now it gets a little more interesting because it's not, we're used to skip counting by tens and hundreds. Not so used to skip counting by 4s. You can think of this as adding 4 each time, or you can think about 1 times 4, 2 times 4, 3 times 4, 4 times 4. Now I'm going to do what number?
5 times 4.
5 times 4. What is 5 times 4?
20.
20. Now I'm going to do 6 times 4. What is it, class?
24.
Okay, I need people awake. You guys should know your 4s. What is 7 times 4?
38.
28. 8 times...
30.
And you guys wait until I ask the question. 8 times 4.
32.
9 times 4.
36.
That was a bad 30. 9. 10 times 4. 40. So we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 multiples of 4. Go ahead and write them down. So the question had asked us to estimate 196 divided by 4. So we can go like this forever, but we only got to 40, didn't we? And we need to get to what? You can't see it, but it's right there. It's on your paper. 196. That's going to take us some time. And keeping track of it gets really confusing. So instead of counting by each one, we're going to multiply by multiples of 10 to help us get there faster. And they've started it for us down here. We already know 10 times 4 is what? 40. So 20 times 4 is?
80.
30 times 4 is?
120.
Are we getting closer?
Yes.
What's 40 times 4?
160.
Ooh, are we close?
Yes.
Are we there?
No.
We're close. 50 times 4.
200.
Ooh, look it, we're close. Okay? The quotient, yeah, we're past. The quotient is between 40 and 50. So 40 times 4 is closest to, oh, we're looking for 96. Which one is closest to 196? 40 or 50? 50 times 4 is closest to 196 because it's only 4 away. Correct? Keep your feet down, both of you. So it's only 4 away. From 196 to 200 is only 4. So it's closer to 196 than 4 times 40. So 196 divided by 4 is about 50. If I'm looking for an estimate, I could say it's about 50. Does anybody know the exact off the top of their head, just based on what we already know right here? What do you think the exact is, Sean?
About 46.
Nope, I want an exact, not an about. Horace, is that what you're going to say? 46, Jaden? 49. And the reason I know that, and Jaden knows that, is because it's only 4 difference. So if I take away 4 from 200, I'm taking away 1 times. I'm taking away 4 one time. But that's a whole nother lesson. We'll go there later. But for right now, we're doing about, and it's about 50. A restaurant has 68 chairs. There are 6 chairs at each table. About how many tables are in the restaurant? So think about this. Visualize in your head. There's a restaurant. It has a bunch of tables. Each table has 6 chairs. You guys visualizing that? Okay.
Yeah.
So if you kind of visualize what it's asking you, it's easier to do the problem because you understand what it's asking you. So if there's 68 chairs and there's 6 chairs at each table, about how many tables are at the restaurant? So you want to start figuring out multiples that will end up near 68. Can anybody think off the top of their head right now one number that is close to 68, that if you multiply times 6 is close to 68? 72. And what number did you multiply by 8 to get 6 to get to 72? 12 times 6 is 72. Okay. So is there that's good. That's on the upper end. It's higher than 68. What about on the lower end? What do you think, Ethan? 66 is what number? 11 times 6. So you guys are already kind of doing this in your head. We're going to go ahead and go through all the steps. 10 times 6 is?
60.
And we know we're not there yet. 11 times 6 is 66. And we know we're still not there, so we're going to go one more. 12 times 6 is?
72.
Okay, so now we've passed. We know there's between 11 and 12 tables. Because there's at least 11. There could be 12. 68 is it closer to 66 or is it closer to 72? I want you to think. Is 68 closer to 66 or 72? Raise your hand when you think you know. Which one is closer to? Okay, which one's it closer to?
66.
Yeah, it's closer to 66. It's only 2 away from 66, but it's 4 away from 72. So the best estimate is about how many tables?
66.
Nope, that's the chairs.
11.
11, it's this one. Right, whatever gave us the product of 66, 11 times. Find 2 numbers the quotient is between, and then estimate the quotient. So 41 divided by 3. So we have to think 3 times a number is close to 41. Does anyone have any guesses that they want to throw out? 3 times what number? What do you think, Ronnie? 3 times 40? Well, we're just trying to get to 41. So 3 times 40 is going to give us 120. We have to think of a number 3 times a number will get us close to 41. Luna. 3 times 4 is going to give us 12. Is that close to 41? Avani?
3 times 12.
3 times 12 is what? Okay, so times 12 gives us 36. Can we get even closer? We're close, so this is a good start. I would put this on, that's personally where I would start, because I know 3 times 12 is 36, but then I would start moving up from there. Erin, what do you have? 3 times 13 equals what, class? 39. That's definitely close. So what's the next one? Times 14 is going to equal? 42. Remember, you're just adding 3 to the number right before it. All right, so now we're going to say 2 numbers the quotient is between. Which 2 numbers here is it between? Sean?
39 and 42.
Right, so I'm going to erase this one because I didn't need that one. So it's between, so if I was going to write my answer, I would say between 39 and 42. So the estimate of the quotient is going to be between, oh no, we're going to do about. Which was it closer to?
42.
It was closer to 42. So it's about, what number gave us 42? 14. It's about 14. So the answer, or the quotient of 41 divided by 3 is about 14. Because 14 times 3 gives us 42. Okay? All right, let's try the next one. This number is a lot larger. So, 192 divided by 5. I want you to think for a moment, what number times 5 is going to get you close to 192? And we'll start there, and then we'll work backwards or forwards, depending. I want everybody to think, times what number? Okay, Preston, what do you think?
38.
5 times 38?
Yeah.
How did you come up with 5 times 38? You just figured it out?
Yeah, I did 5 times 4, which is 20, and then 0.
So let's go with that one, the first one you did. Because you worked backwards, I want to start with the one you started with. You did 5 times 40. Okay, so let's start with 5 times 40, which is what he did in his head first. 5 times 40, sorry. What does 5 times 40 equal?
200.
200. Is that close?
Yes.
So let's start working backwards because we went too high. So if 5 times 40 is 200, 5 times 39 is going to be 5 less than that, right? 195.
Oh, wow.
And 5 times 38 equals 190. Okay, however, we're not quite there on that. So if you understand, I know Jaden does and I know Preston does, and if you came up with 38 already before we talked about it, you understand that you can subtract one set of 5 each time, you can do that. But what you really would have done was done 5 times 30 based on today's lesson. Eventually going back and doing it each 5 would be what you're doing, but today we would have done 5 times 30, which is 150. And then we would say 9, so it's between, right? Between 30 and 40. It's about, which one of these will we pick? 40 or 30?
40.
About 40, because it's closer to the 40 than it is closer to the 200 than it is to the 150. Okay? So that doesn't mean that what he was saying was wrong. It's actually more accurate, but we're not that detailed yet. We can do by tens. No. Okay. So on your own, find 2 numbers the quotient is between, then estimate the quotient. This is what you're looking for. It's between 2 numbers between 39 and 42, example, and then about. What number did you multiply to get that? So I want you to try number 4 on your own. Who could tell me 7 times what number gets us close to 90? What'd you get, Antonio?
7 times 12.
What is 7 times 12?
84.
Okay. So now what am I going to try? Avani.
13 times
7 times 13, which equals?
91.
91. Okay? So when I write this, I'm going to say it's between 84 and 91. I'm going to put my products. It's between 84 and 91. And which one was closer? The 7 times 12 or 7 times 13?
13.
7 times 13. So I'm going to put that my quotient is about 13. So remember, quotient means the answer when you're doing division. What is the answer when you're doing multiplication? Just tell me. Product. Okay? So it wants to tell, when it's asking, find the two numbers the quotient is between. It's between 84 and 91. And then what is the quotient? What is the estimate of the quotient? The estimate of the answer is about 13. 90 divided by 7 is about 13. So these, when you write them, you'll probably write this one first and then this one. But I had mess, so I wrote that one first. Okay? Go ahead and do number